Hi friends, welcome to the Shiits and Gigs podcast where we keep the vibe high, the humor gets raunchy, and things get spicy when we talk about food. I'm your host, Meg Davis. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're here because you like to get weird, you like to learn about some cool shit, and you're committed to living your best life. YOLO! I am here to lean into my natural curiosity around why the frick we're here and what makes us special. I am honored to witness so much talent and experience with each guest that I have on my channel. Each guest is invited on because of a simple conversation, a simple connection. I just find it so intriguing that we all live the same 24 hours and yet everyone's human experience is completely different. So if you're into thinking bigger and leaning into people's natural passions and gifts, you're in the right place. Yay! So glad you're here. Thanks for tuning in. Hi friends, happy holidays.
I hope you had an amazing
holiday with your family or whoever makes you feel warm and fuzzy inside. We are here for an episode of Bath Bombz this week, and I am going to bring to you a hype girl session so you can head into 2025 feeling cool, calm, and collected for the year that you want to bring for yourself. Because I am fully believing after this past year that we are more in control of our life than you think, and the universe 100% has your back if you can just be open and receptive to the signs that it brings. Let's dive in first off some holiday craziness. I'll deep dive into a little reflection for the holiday. This year was quite chaotic. I started my new job 3 weeks ago. Things are going great. However, it just added like an extra layer to the holiday chaos because my new schedule leaves like a little wiggle room for getting shopping done and just getting prepped and ready for the holidays ahead. So that was kind of crazy. Cam, though, crushed it. He had an awesome Christmas Eve. We went over my family's house, and it's just like a huge shebang every single year. It's loud, it's fun. There's social shots. It's a lot, but he did amazing with running around like crazy with the kiddos, and he sat on Santa's lap, no problem. So excited about that. And he was just so fun to watch like that Christmas spirit through this year. We started the elf tradition. I refused to do all of the crazy items that so many ambitious parents do. However, it was really fun to see the Christmas magic with finding a little elf. We named Cookie this year, and he really enjoyed that. He very soonly became addicted to his chocolate that he got every day. So might do that a little different next year. But depending on what this year brings, I absolutely love that tradition. And then we also had done the Wrap 25 Christmas books and open one every day. Wasn't perfect because, again, he's only not even 2 yet. He's going to be 2 in February. So he could only grasp so much. However, he definitely brought the joy to the holiday for this year for sure, because it was pretty humble otherwise. And then Christmas Day, we were up pretty late Christmas Eve, and our boy came through with a Christmas miracle of sleeping in yesterday. So that was amazing. We slept until like almost 9 o'clock. And then my mother-in-law stayed over with us, and she scooted for a little while, and then everyone came back for a nice roast beef dinner. Thanks, Dad. So that was amazing, and it was just a super chill, humble holiday, and we just had so much fun watching Cam really soak it up. And this was the first holiday without my father-in-law, and it's weird. Grief is so strange. Everything in my being knows that he's gone, and I'm just still having a hard time wrapping my head around that he's just a memory at this point. And I mean, the day overall was a great day. I'm not going to say that because he wasn't here, it was a bad day, because we had lots of fun memories and moments. But it hit me when I was in the kitchen preparing a plate for Cam, and I was kind of just like listening to the mumbo jumbo in the other room. And it's just weird because when you lose someone that's just so ingrained in your normal day-to-day or like your holiday scene, and then you're just like listening from afar and you're just like missing that voice, and they're not there, like their presence is missed. And like that was just something that kind of hit me yesterday, is that like it's different. It's just forever different. and it's just going to take getting used to. However, I know that he is with us always and always just there, but just in a different light. So grief felt weird yesterday, still unpacking, just not having him around with us always and experiencing the holidays and just all the things in between with us. So that's been still feeling kind of stuck and heavy. But again, just because you feel sad isn't necessarily a bad thing. When you lose someone and you feel that sadness or that emptiness, it's actually, my mother-in-law had actually brought this up. She was just being honest about herself having a hard day a little while ago. And she's like, but it's okay. She's like, I'm glad that I feel this way, because if I didn't, that means like Dad didn't really leave a positive impact. And it made me take a step back and was like, wow, yeah, I never thought of it that way. Like this like emptiness and sadness is purposeful in the way that it means your person that is no longer around left an imprint that is positive, and they're forever missed. So it's a good thing, even though it feels shitty and you would obviously prefer them to be around forever. However, unfortunately, that's not how life works. So you just have to love on those that mean the most to you and make the most of those moments. Get off your phone and plug into real life. All right, let's dive into the Hype Girl Sesh for 2025. I thought it'd be fun to just kind of reflect on a couple things this year that were super impactful and definitely have forever changed my life in the best ways possible. Like I've mentioned on a couple of my bath bombs and my diaries, series where I just kind of blab about life, I've shared a couple things that have really been pivotal for my year with navigating just all the crazy ish that came along with it. It's been quite the year. And I'm grateful for all of the chaos, because through each chaotic moment, I definitely had like a little growth spurt personally. And I'm forever changed in the best ways possible. So first things first, in 2024, something I got committed to is caring less. And by that, I mean caring less about what people think about what I'm doing, what people think about how I'm going about living my life, and just really like releasing myself of that people-pleasing barrier that has been a part of my life for as long as I can remember. And each year I kind of chip away at it, and I get a little better about not being so people-pleasy, but not in the way that I'm being like inconsiderate. It's just more so like releasing that anxiety and layer about like how would life be different if I didn't decide to go to like out for drinks tonight, because it's really not in the budget. And I know if I go, like, yeah, I'll have a good time, but then I'm going to be stressing out until my next paycheck, because I'm going to blow that like little extra cushion that I have for the week ahead, for those like things that come up like gas or whatever I may need. That's an actual necessity. So that's been like a huge question for myself this past probably year and a half, is like, how would life be different when I'm really struggling with that like people pleasing aspect? And just this year like really humbled us financially, and I just decided to care less about anyone else as far as like their perception of me or what I'm doing, and caring more about how I'm showing up for myself and my family. So one big thing I promised myself last year is that I was getting fully committed to finding myself again, finding a routine for myself that feels good and that allows me to just show up for myself in a higher level way. And a big part of that is creating my morning anchor. So this kind of dives into point 2 for the year. My biggest lessons is consistency trumps all. So I used to be that person working out 6 to 7 days a week, 30 minutes to an hour a day. And that's just not something that I've been able to prioritize, again, in my routine post-baby. So something that I came up with this year is something called a morning anchor. The episode that Joe Rogan did with The Rock, I didn't realize like what I was doing was actually, I don't know, called something. But they called it a morning anchor. And ever since then, I've just been obsessed with that idea, because it really does just anchor me in my day. And it allows me to show up for myself right off the bat. And then it just kind of like gives good vibes right off the start. So I'm like showing up for myself in a high power way by doing these like 10-15 minutes of different intentional exercises and movements. And I'm not like breaking a huge sweat, guys. I am, again, just intentionally moving my body for 10 to 15 minutes, a couple things that feel good for me personally. I have something for like mobility and strength, and then I have the push-ups that are like a challenge for myself every single day, because although they've gotten easier as far as my form execution goes, and because my strength has increased, it's still challenging to do 30 push-ups for me. It's like I still feel like I'm pushing myself every single day to do that. And then I have the headstand for like that mental release. So yes, I'm not perfect by doing it 7 out of 7 days a week. However, the large majority of my week, I would say I'm pretty damn good about getting it done at least 5 to 6 days a week, which has been life-changing for myself. It allows you to feed into that dedication and excitement around just doing something big for yourself in a small way. And the consistency of doing that with yourself every single day is it breeds trust with yourself, it breeds follow through, and it's just like an unbroken promise, because you just get dedicated to whatever feels good for your morning anchor, and then it's just consistent follow through for yourself. So you build that trust, you build that relationship with yourself as far as the standard of showing up. So that's been absolutely life-changing. It's increased my strength, my mobility, my stamina, and not for nothing, but your girl's core is making a comeback and it's looking fire. So this is like the least amount of working out I've ever done on a regular basis. It's 10 to 15 minutes a day. When it's nice and the weather permits, we do love to go for a daily walk. However, I'll be complete honest, I don't remember the last time I went for a walk. It's been at least a month. So outside of my morning anchor, and I teach my pound fit class on Wednesdays, your girl is keeping it pretty basic activity wise, and she's feeling amazing. So consistency trumps all. Just pick anything that makes you feel good and do it on a consistent basis, and I promise the results will show. Number 3, I just did a full-blown Bath Bombz episode on this, and it seems like you guys are really loving it because the views are looking good. But we've really gotten rooted back into friends first, lovers second. So meaning in our relationship, my husband and I, we are friends first, lovers second. We prioritize breeding positivity and light in that friendship aspect. So we'll play games together. We broke out the twister board this year. That's been really fun. We've been throwing the football outside when we have time to do that. And just really breeding that support system for each other, that safe space. And then lovers second, meaning yes, we're still intimate and we're having those moments, but it's not like top priority. The top priority is being there for each other and being that person during the chaos of navigating this crazy year. And then number 4, getting outside. No matter what, every single day, I'm outside for at least 5 minutes unplugged with no phone. Typically it's at night with my husband when we just go outside to chill and like share a J. But outside of that, I definitely do my best to get outside uninterrupted. And another thing that I've been doing, I heard it on a podcast on my way home, I will typically do like a stimulation-free drive. So I'll crack my window a little bit, again, for that fresh air aspect. And then I will turn off all music and sound and just allow my brain to kind of naturally decompress. It kind of just, I'll either like talk out loud or I'll just like kind of see where my brain goes naturally and work through whatever is going on in my head. So then when I arrive at home, my brain is fully decompressed. I hopefully don't have too many floaters going around in my head, and I can just be home with my family, because with my new work schedule, I really get like maybe an hour and a half with the baby before he goes to bed, and then Josh and I do our best to hang out. But we're still attempting to get to bed early because I wake up early and he wakes up at a decent hour also. However, that has been a struggle. Getting to bed before 10 p.m. has been rough. But getting outside, decompressing with no phone, silent drive has been life-changing. And then last thing that I've really been open to this year is just really being open to the signs. I life has been chaotic this year, and it's just had so many different pivots. But one thing I've learned is that signs are everywhere if we're just open and receptive to them. So this is your friendly reminder that the universe has your back. And if you are just open, you ask for the signs, you receive and take that moment to just like validate the sign received when you notice it, and just trust and surrender to the process of like your divine unfolding. Whatever feels stuck and heavy, I promise the answers are all around you. You just have to be open to it. And I learned this through receiving several signs throughout this year, and I just kind of really leaned into it because life was feeling stuck and heavy, and I needed a change. And ever since, I just asked the universe for a solution, and I just basically surrendered to the ride. It's all just unfolded in the most magical way, and I'm in the right place at the right time. I feel so sure of that, and I just am so excited to see what 2025 has in store. And with that, I'm just going to end it. I'm going to read a journal quote that had changed my life this year. It was gifted to me by an old client of mine. And oddly enough, speaking about signs, so on the front of this journal where the quote is a butterfly. And the butterfly has been like a symbol this year that I've tried to follow because it does seem to lead me in a positive direction. And before I started my new job, I had asked the universe to give me some type of sign in the office that I am in the right place at the right time. I'm like meant to be here. And nothing has like really stood out to me. And then my coworker that has been doing like a lot of my training ended up giving me a little gift the other day for Christmas. And it's one of those like plugins for the wall. And she had gotten majority like of the other people in the office just like a Christmassy themed one. And I didn't make the connection until yesterday, but she got me a butterfly, which is crazy because like I just mentioned, there's a butterfly on the front of this journal that has this quote that has kind of been like, it's enhanced the standard for the way I show up day to day. And it's just so crazy that there's a butterfly on that thing because it just was like that validation for me, like, okay, like this is it. Like I'm here. There's no more need to do, and I just need to keep showing up, doing my best, and the universe is going to take care of us here. So here's that quote. It's called the Bragdon Principle, and it says, "Every life that has been lived until today is a part of the woven braid of life. It takes every person's story to create history. Your life will help determine the course of history. You may think you don't have much of an impact. You do. Every action you take will reflect in someone else's life, someone else's decisions, someone else's future, both good and bad." And that, it seems like kind of simple when you really just like kind of look at it for what it is, but that to me just shows like no matter where you are, I'm in my bed by myself right now, so there's no one really experiencing my being. However, when you are in the presence of another human being, the way you show up matters. Whether you're at the grocery store, whether you're sitting with your spouse on the couch and you're on your phone and not paying attention to them, or you hold the door for someone in public, or you hold the elevator, walk further in the parking lot on purpose. Like people notice these things. People notice how you show up, whether they mean to or not. So how are you showing up not only for yourself, but how are you primarily, how are you showing up for yourself in every moment, first off? And then just be mindful of like how you're showing up in the presence of others, because it matters. That leaves an impact no matter how big or small. And that is something that I've been living by this year. So no matter like where I am, I'm showing up in a way that I feel prideful, where I feel proud of how I am showing up, who I am being, and most of all, I do my absolute best to be leaving a positive impact always. If I got stuff going on at home, I know my safe space is where I can decompress and deal with that. But outside of that, I am trying my best to be a positive light. And I think because of that, I have just been able to be led to where I am today. And I'm forever grateful for the year I had, no matter how tough it was. And to wrap this episode up, I'm going to share some of my favorite mantras that helped me navigate this year. and will hopefully help you guys navigate into 2025 feeling grounded and proud of the person that you're being. So let's wrap this thing up with some juicy mantras. First things first on the realist. Just kidding. All right, let's get into it. I am here on purpose. I embrace my unique talents with pride. I am confident in my ability to show up. I am worthy of a life full of experience and wealth. I am a magnet for money and miracles. That one's really fun. I trust and surrender to my divine unfolding. That was huge this year. And one thing that I've been like absolutely living by is I can do hard things. Super basic, but straight to the point. And whenever I feel like I'm just stalling or I'm stuck because I'm a little nervous or whatever it is, I just say like, I can do hard things, I can do hard things, and I just do it. So I hope you guys just embrace whatever feels good heading into 2025. Definitely take this opportunity to reflect. My next guest episode, I'm going to be either recording this week or next week with my girl Amanda. She is also a huge positive light. I feel like our soul paths are very intertwined right now with just embracing change, trusting to that divine unfolding, and surrendering to whatever is meant to be for us. And she is just such a gifted human being. And we're going to be doing some type of end of year reflection together. And she is going to open up with her special gifts on how to, again, dive into 2025 feeling cool, calm, and collected with where you're going. So definitely tune in for that next guest episode that's going to be launching real soon. But I hope this was helpful for you guys so that you can feel amazing heading into 2025. Definitely take at least 5 minutes to reflect, release, and move forward with positivity heading into this year. And thanks again for tuning in. I'll talk to you guys soon. Toodles.